Sounding good.
The monsters
Looking
mindlessly
good.
follow the Blight's tendrils,
Feeling good?
attacking foes
Feeling
directly.
good, man.
The infected are unusually tough.
All
so you
right,
need to build
let's kick it
defensive
off.
towers to
So
exploit each
welcome
monster's specific
to
weaknesses.
Nox and Jumbly's
For each
first
central lane you defend,
dual
you
commentary.
your rewards.
So
These rewards can include oils,
Nox, if you want to go ahead and
systems
introduce
combined
yourself.
together to enchant certain
Guys, what's
items.
going on, man? Some of y'all already know who I am, but for y'all who
Blighted
do
maps
not, I
contain
am
larger pockets of
NoxsZeroFoxs.
infection.
I am a
Claims
content
these for
creator
rewards,
on
including
YouTube
unique
as well
items
as on
which can be
Twitch,
enchanted with
or some of
notable
y'all are watching us
passes.
live, and later on YouTube, or
In
you will
Path of
be
Exile
watching us
Blight,
later.
we also have a focus
And
on giving you more
I'm a
control
theory
over when you
crafter.
run side
I
content.
enjoy the nuances
missions
of
now
PoE
stack for later
and
if you don't run them
exploring
immediately.
some of the more
This expansion
undiscovered
also contains
sections of the
significant
game.
revamps to the Saboteur,
I also
Assassin,
enjoy
and
helping
Necromancer
new
ascendancy
players
classes,
discover these
as well as
sections
an
as well.
additional bar of skill bindings.
I am not one of these guys who
Check out Path of
focuses
Exile
on
Blight
meta
September
and the
6th.
top, best, most played things. Again, I'm a nuanced player. I really enjoy playing with the forgotten sheep of the family, if you would. The skill gems that don't see the light of day. And showing people that you can play the game, be successful, and enjoy yourself while doing it, while taking this avenue. Nothing's wrong with meta. I don't want to get this misconstrued. I don't hate meta play. I just personally choose to play off meta pretty much 90% of the time. So, just a little run. Hey, Jumbly?
Yep, so it's your boy, Sir Jumbly, the mastermind behind this beautiful overlay.
It is good.
I took some inspiration from Kark and those guys, Rise QT and them when they do their Bay class. I took some of their inspiration, just slapped it together for two people. Like the yellow theme from Blight. Do it in there. But
It looks fantastic.
I'm a very entry-level YouTuber. Got a whole 17 subscribers now. Oh yeah. I had 0 last week.
Yeah, pretty impressive actually.
Yeah, we're up 1,700%.
The 1700%, you're killing it, dude.
Yeah, so I've been playing Path for a couple years now. Got over 3,000 hours logged on Steam. Even more than that back when we actually had the launcher. So I wish I could have transferred over that, because I'd probably be at like 9,000 hours.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess I would add before we get into any of the mess here that I'm also a long time player of Path of Exile. I'm a previous streamer on a different platform, and I'm transferring over to
Mixer.
the place that shall not be named. But coming over also from console, I originally transferred to console to help players on console learn the game. Anybody who's new to the game understands just how daunting of a task Path of Exile can feel when entering the fray, bold and naked on that beach. So
Hold on. I'm gonna do an exact replica of like 80% of the people that quit Path of Exile. They kill Hillock. They press P to open the skill tree. What the fuck? Uninstalled.
Uninstall. I literally have a friend that went through this exact experience live on stream with me, so I know this happens all the time for people. I often catch people in stream that will be like, hey, you know, I tried this out like a year ago. I've tried it like 3 times. I couldn't get into it, you know, and then they end up in the stream with, you know, questions of wonder. You know, how are you doing this? How do I play this game? So that's essentially where it started. I caught myself one league pretty much dedicating close to 80% of my time doing nothing but helping people fix their builds and teaching people about the game, and having most of these people tell me, why are you not streaming? Why do you not make YouTube videos? And you know, it bit me, man. I was just like, okay, let's do this. And I started and had some really actually pretty good success considering the amount of time I did it for. We actually hit #1 PoE streamer for console on Mixer in like almost 3 months and 2 weeks. So we were pretty proud of that. We got picked up by one of the official Discords and was hosted and whatnot. So it really fueled my passion to do this. And I found out that I truly do love doing this, and I love helping people and, you know, seeing people succeed in a game where it can feel like you will never win sometimes. So with that said, I have also been playing for a long time. on just console alone, we managed to rack up like 180 days of playtime. And I played previously on PC, back when I really don't know when. It says one of my accounts that I'm using now, which I had one before this, so really who knows. But it says the account that I am on right now was created back in 2015, so at least, you know, some change, almost 4 to 5 years minimum of playtime on the game. I remember when Malagaro was the end boss of the game. We've come a long way. We've come a long way. A lot of power creep, and a lot of content later. Pathos continues to evolve, and here we sit. So I think it's a decent introduction between us both.
Yep. So how about builds? You know, you talked about being a theory crafter. What's your most interesting build you've done?
Well, that's a hard one, man. I put so much time into so many builds. I often find myself kind of revisiting builds and reinventing them with different ideas or different uniques or items, or, you know, just thought process in general to retackle. But I almost got build of the week one time, and I guess I would say that's my most infamous one. I got kind of big on console with it, and I can kind of break it down. I have yet to recreate it on PC. I've done like a really layman's version of it this league, with a vortex base, cold snap / Arctic breath. But I guess to just throw it out there, it was a double vortex, double frostbolt, double cold snap, Arctic breath build, and yes, literally double. I managed at the time, I don't know if this is still a broke thing. I have not seen anybody reproduce this yet, so I might have to do this again one day, just to showcase this, because it's just really crazy looking. But I was managing to drop down about 50 vortexes at once, which pretty much almost crashed the game. And I was using the cosmetic, I forget which one it is, but I think it's like essentially the shaper or cosmetic for it, and it was just so white and so bright that it would pretty much crash the game, whoever walked into it. But yeah, anywhere between we tried to count exactly, but it's just a guesstimate, about 35 to 50 vortexes was able to be applied at once. And now they may have fixed this to where you can't do this, because I know you're only supposed to be able to do about 5. But it was essentially using a lot of the uniques from that current league, trigger socketed spells and double wands, and then using a lot of trial and error to find out the correct sequence of skills that have to go off to enable all of these things to happen. Because unlike maybe a specific unique to trigger a socket spell, when you're using multiple versions of the same kind of trigger socket spell, you have to set up a chain of events, and they will essentially set the chain off. It's hands down the most complicated build I've ever done, but it will set off a chain of event or a chain of skills in sequence no matter what you do. So if you turn on an aura, boom, you're shooting off a skill. If you jump, you do the movement skill. All of these things have to be adjusted when you're trying to set it off, because if they don't happen one after another correctly, the whole thing falls apart. It doesn't actually create the cascade of insane skills getting burst everywhere. So that was probably one of my favorite builds, just due to the complexity of it, and it took a long time to get it right, and then it took even longer to actually optimize the build to where it wasn't just a meme and it was actually viable. We did Shaper on it. Never did Uber Elder on it. I rarely do. I've only done Uber Elder, honestly, a handful of times. Just not really something that interests me. It takes a lot of investment, a lot of time. Rewards, meh. Just not my thing. I'm more into the builds. To give you an idea about how much actual building we do, last league I hit my record of 50 plus builds in one league, and that is no easy task on console. Everything is extremely expensive. It's a very different economy. People who are on PC will it's kind of hard for them to understand exactly how.
Just tell them how expensive an Adzeres mirror is, or Adzeres reflection is.
Sure. Yeah. So right now, currently on League, to give you a reference, I believe it's going for 23 exalts or 26, somewhere around there. We just looked it up recently today. On console, the last time I saw it on console was about 128.
That's a scam.
X. Yeah, it's rough. It's an ongoing joke, but it can also often be replicated to show people how bad it is. To say that something that costs 1C on PC will often cost 1X on console, and sometimes will cost 10X. I'm not kidding. I've literally seen it. It's ridiculous. It's an unfortunate thing that I hope they're able to remedy a little bit in the future, because it's detrimental to new players. It's a hard environment to get thrown into, that's for sure. Only the strong survive, and that's not really the most productive way to build a base on any kind of platform. With essentially everybody that has knowledge running all of the movement within the market, and like an X. So everything's more expensive, as I've explained, but also currency is completely devalued unless you know what you're doing, flipping. But essentially an X only cost about 60C on console, so it's essentially all the rich boys stealing all the X from all the poor boys and then selling you items at astronomical prices. I mean, some people are very lucky to even get half of their build together by the end of the league, and obviously that just doesn't cut it for most people. So I'm glad to be on PC.
Pretty much better off playing solo self-found on console.
Yeah, that's a honest point. And I mean, I got into that a little bit, actually, just trying to see if I can make builds for people to use inside of League, by showing them that it can be done in solo self-found. So I did that for a little while as well.
Yeah, I think the best build I ever did. So before I started even making my own builds, I'd always follow like build guides and stuff like that, and I found this one where it was like Flicker Strike, and I was like, that looks fun. So it was Incursion League, the start of Incursion League. I had played Flicker Strike before Incursion for a little while at the end of the league before Incursion, and then I made a Ascendant Scion using Auros with 685% attack speed.
Ooh, crap.
And it was 100% ignite, and yeah, it literally would crash instances.
I'm sure that's a bit much, man.
Yeah, I'm running two 1080 Ti's, and I would suffer frame loss. Ridiculous. It was so fun though. Like, it was awful for killing bosses. I had to do a Molten Strike swap, but for clear, I've never had anything faster than that, ever. I
mean, yeah, you're just pretty much teleporting around the screen at that point.
Yeah, but now with the reworked skill tree for 3.7, it's it doesn't really work anymore. I can't really do it.
A lot of builds.
Yeah.
I took a dirt nap recently in the last two patches, honestly, major patches.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay though. But all right. Anyways, what everyone's actually here for, let's review some Blight. Oh, this way, Blight. So I'm gonna restart the little video here.
Yep, there we go. That's yep.
Properties. There we go. All right, so we got a little person standing in the middle of a poisonous field.
Okay, so Blight League. As everybody's probably been watching the video, I think we can kind of roughly just do the voicing over here, because I don't think they can hear anything enough, unless you're cranking it up.
Yeah, I'm cranking it up just a little bit.
I need your might. And to the mighty go the spoils.
Well, as we can see, boys and girls, it is Apex Violence turned into
ORIATH Tower Defense 5.
It's black
indeed. Tower defense.
Where's the monkeys?
and purge it.
Where's the balloon, damn it?
It's right there in the center. Don't you see the big yellow balloon?
Oh yeah, screw that. My mistake.
I really like that skill they got there.
Okay, let's prepare.
The Blight is here,
I don't know if
and we
listen
are the
to
cure.
this push that's going on right now on screen or not. My audio is completely shot. So I guess I'm just gonna talk a bit
In the
here.
Blight League, Sister Cassia is trying
so
to stop
it looks
the spread
like
of the mind-controlling Blight.
the new
through
installment
fungal
Blight.
growths. When attacked,
If
the
you're
Blight
into
commands
tower
infected
defenses, you're probably
monsters to
excited.
defend it.
I am into tower
The
defenses, so
monsters
I'm very
mindlessly
positive
follow
about
the
this.
Blight's tendrils, only
I
attacking
think
foes
everybody,
directly in their
consensus-wise on this side, has
path. The
agreed that
infected are
most likely
unusually
Reddit will
tough,
be
so you need to
having
build defensive
absolute
towers to
conniption
exploit
fit.
each monster's specific
When
weaknesses.
don't they, you know? So
Each tendril
who
layer
really
you
gives two
defend,
shit?
chest will appear with
I
oils.
think it's gonna be fun. I think it's
These rewards
different.
can include oils,
I
which
think it
Sister
adds
Cassia can combine together to
some
enchant certain items.
new play styles to the game
Blighted maps
that
contain
does
larger
slow it
pockets
down
of
a little bit,
infection.
which I don't think is a bad thing.
Including
You know,
items which
everybody
can be
is in
enchanted
such a
with
rush
skills.
to grind and pop mobs
In
as
Path of
fast as
Exile
possible,
Blight,
especially with
we
this
also have a
last
focus
league.
on giving
It
you
has
more
indulged
control
that to the
over
max.
your side
So
content.
I think it'll be
Master
hard
Max
for this
now
kind of
step
playstyle
later if you
to
don't run them
be
immediately.
to maybe to
This
flourish.
expansion also
And
contains
after
significant
following
readouts to the
Legion up,
Saboteur, Assassin,
I think
and
people will
Necromancer
want
ascendancy classes,
quicker,
as well as an
faster,
additional fire of skill
rewarding
bindings.
gameplay. But hopefully the balance
Check out
of the
Path of Exile
time
Blight
spent
September
on
6th.
the instance as well as the rewards balance out. So if that makes any sense, I hope it feels rewarding enough to take that time to run these tower defense instances, because I would really like to see people just slow down a little bit and enjoy yourself without having to break down the nuclear calculations of how to actually play it. You know, this seems pretty simple and straightforward. You build towers to counter specific types of elements. We all get this process. If you're playing Path of Exile, you kind of need to know these basic things. And it seems like they're lowering defenses essentially of these mobs that are going to be over the top tanky, unless you're utilizing the proper tower negations. So I think that's cool. I think it's fun, and I just hope it feels rewarding enough for the instant gratification culture that we have promulgated inside PoE.
Well, you know what makes me excited for this mechanic, at least? Group play.
Group play.
Like the potential for like having a group play here, like Aura bots can finally do something other than stand there.
Yeah,
Like
that's a great point.
they have a chance to actually, participate in the fight.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point, actually. You know, you can see, even in the video, that you're getting multiple lanes flooding you. And it probably will feel a bit daunting at times, which again I enjoy. But I think you're right, man. I think group play will feel really good with this.
Yeah, definitely, especially on wide open maps where like it's gonna chain out really far. Like group play could be really interesting.
I agree. Which we need more of that. I am 1000% behind that notion.
Oh yeah, I love doing group play, even though it's slower. Leveling with a friend is way more
Yes.
fun than just powering through the axe by yourself.
I agree.
100%.
I often used to look forward to new league starts where I could take some of my my viewers through the game and point out along the way, what you need to get, what you need to look for, what are good. A lot of this stuff, man, you can go watch build guides all you want. You can go read up on forums. You can go get in Reddit and get salty saucy as much as you want. But for a new player, there's still a lot missing from what the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I need to look for? And going through the axe with somebody for the first time and not doing that, not just slamming them through, because I used to do that too. I used to be a speedrunner. I used to just see how fast I could get the game done, and so people would be like, "Oh, I'd be like, hey, I'm making a new character, today," and this would be like every other day. But I'd be like, "You wanna push? You need to push through? Yeah, sure, man. you know? And then I'd get in there and I'd realize, like, man, I would be triggered within seconds because they couldn't keep up. I'd give him 2 times the amount of speed flash, I'd give him movement speed boots, and I'd be running butt naked, just, you know, dusting them down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can just come on, all you gotta do is follow me. You don't need to kill nothing, you don't need to pick up nothing, just follow me. And they just couldn't do it. It was really stressful for him. You know, I realize that now. it's just too much, you know. And you really have no idea what's happening. And I realized, oh man, you can get so much more if you take care of the crop, you know, more or less. You just sit there and you walk somebody through some parts of the game, maybe not all of it, but let them enjoy and explore stuff. But and you know, if you can teach somebody how to correctly look for what items at the right times in the game and show them the essential quest you need to hit to be able to progress, if you would, because a lot of players that have made a couple characters get to the point where they're like, I want to get through the game a little faster, you know, but they're still not at the point where they're essentially knowing everything and knowing the bad layouts, knowing the good layouts, knowing what the higher probability of, you know, door positioning, spawning, and stuff like that, you know. And so it's I think I now have found a lot of enjoyment in taking people through the game, the first part of the game. And let's be honest, man, I don't know about you, but I think it's an awesome storyline that unfortunately has missed out a lot.
That's pretty good. It's just, you know, at this point, it's the tutorial part of the game for me. I look forward to end-game content. Like, that's my bread and butter right there. But I don't mind running through the story at the beginning of the league. I'm like, cool, get a refresher. But, you know, after character number 5 of the league, it's like, all right, come on.
Or 50.
Yeah, or 50. Or 50.
Yeah, trust me, I know, man. I've bitched about it so long. So long.
Yeah, but I think for, like, most new players, it's more or less not understanding stat prioritization. What type of stats they need for their build. Like, that's the big thing. And they won't be able to kill anything. They'll have, like, good gear, but it's, like, not gear for them.
Right. No,
Yeah.
so true. That's pretty much 90% of it is just, you know, for instance, the other day we were helping a viewer and I was trying to help him pick out some items to up his build.
Yeah, wasn't he like, he was like level 50 something and he had a level 18 axe or level 30 axe?
Right. And not to point fingers here, we're not like making fun of this. We're just making a point of this to say that,
Yeah.
you know, this is somebody who has managed to get to 58, has pushed all the way up to Act 8, is doing really good, has already broke past 50% of all players. 50% of all players quit before you end this in Act 5. Okay, that's a true statistic. It's just 50% of the people that turn this game on will never see what the game is truly about, you know. And like we say, we call the first part of the game, Act 1 through 10, is literally just warm up. It's just a tutorial to get into the actual game, which is in game. And that's I think that's it for anybody who plays this long term. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the good stuff. You want the good loot, you want the good currency, you know, you want to kill lots of stuff, and you want to feel powerful, as you do in most games. And the beginning of the acts are literally just getting you there. And I am a bad example of not properly leveling correctly to set myself up. I'm a penny pincher because I build so many builds. I have to get really creative of how I do stuff. So sometimes I don't get to buy proper leveling gear, and I don't take the time to properly optimize my character. But I realized, you know, newer characters, they follow guides even, and the guides tell them what they need, but they tell them what they need in a way that they expect a PoE player to understand what they need, not a way that a new player to the game would understand. These are the things I'm looking for on all things. And as I said earlier, you know, a new player, level 58, and he was pretty much sitting on Act 3 gear, you know, and he's in Act 8. It's amazing. It's a testament to the build that he was able to power through this and not get so discouraged that he wanted to break his TV. But he did. And we sat there and I said, he's like, man, I don't understand. I got max res, so he was taking a real solid D&D approach, you know. Let's get the res, let's get survivability up, which is a must. I will say that is an absolute must. If possible, 75% across the board at all times. You're going to get hit with 2 solid nerfs in the game while pushing through it. And I say this for any new player watching. After Act 6, you will have a negative 25% applied to your current reses, lightning, fire, and cold. And you will then get another negative 25 after Act 10. So knowing these things, you want to pre-plan, try and really look for gear. Jewelry is a great place to get these reses. But of course, any gear that you can get on the way, you want to constantly be trying to keep your reses up. Even 10% under 75% will cause you to take a massive amount of damage. It will feel like you are a wet noodle out there running through, a lawnmower. It will really feel bad. Also, life or ES, depending on the build style, most likely life regardless. At that point in the game, you always want to focus life on all your gear you can possibly get it on. And if you have open prefixes or open suffixes, no, it's prefix, I'm sorry. Open prefixes, craft your life, Open suffixes, craft your res. There's really no excuse not to be trying to cap your res and get as much life as possible when pushing through the game. But I'm rambling. But back to the point is that gearing properly, when I asked him, I said, hey, what skill are you using? Oh, I'm using this skill. Are you he was like, oh, I'm using earthquake. Okay. Are you physical or are you elemental? I said, I have no idea.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, generically, he's most likely physical, right? For anybody that's out there that has some knowledge here, you're like, okay, he's most likely physical. So we set him up, we hooked him up, we saw what he was using. We got him cranked up. His life went from like 1.2 to like 2.9. We got him good there. Captures res. I mean, I'm sure at that point the game felt so much better. But I think this is like common. I think this is common for new players. I think they sit there in that spot and they're doing the same thing. Maybe they're looking at uniques in a build guide and they're saying these are the things I need. But it doesn't explain all the other stuff you need, and and the generic, life and res cap, situation that you're always going to face. But yeah. Anyway, that's it's very important, to really try and find out, what your build is excelling at. If you go and look at the common denominator, what's the common denominator between all this gear that I'm looking at in this build guide? What's the in-game goal? Some guides do a really great job. Like for instance, Inky's Arc Witch is probably the most in-depth guide that I've ever read. I've never done the build, but I'd recommended it to almost everybody. I've literally watched a person start the game and push through all game content on it. It's done really well. It explains it and they know what they're looking for. A lot of guides don't. And you'll run into that every league, man. Every league, people, even people who've been playing sometimes for a long time. I mean, there's always stuff to learn in this game. That's what keeps it good. But I digress. I've totally derailed this.
That's okay. That's okay. Like, a lot of new people will watch these types of videos. I remember when I was brand new, I was like, how do I play PoE in YouTube?
Yeah. There wasn't really that around when I started, so I really struggled. For like years. I literally did not know there was any. I had no idea. I was playing solo self-found, and just thought it was the game. And then I realized, oh wait, I can click on different things to make characters. So I made a standard character, and I played that for forever. And then I realized there were leagues, and it's like, oh god, like years of my life just like aimlessly being totally inefficient, never getting past like Act 8 or something, and I just casually played the game on and off. Once it clicked in, I actually saw some people actually really doing some impressive stuff in the game. That's when it like just lit a fire under my ass to get in here and really start playing. I learned everything, and now here we are 4 years later. But we'll get back to 3.8.
All right, so let's take a look at the main teaser page.
Yeah.
15 days. September 6th. Put it on your calendars.
Yeah, and you can come right here, okay? Right here on launch, and we'll be ripping and tearing like an old man. Okay, we can't say something. Okay, we'll be doing it live. Okay, doing it live.
We'll have that energy.
That's right. That energy.
You can find us over here on Twitch And YouTube.
Oh, wait.
Other way.
Oh, there we are. All right. Yes.
Alright, let's see. Path of Exile Blight. Stop the spread of the deadly blight. Building towers. Alright. Spreading blight. Got some screenshots here. Looks like you got like a radial wheel with like the different elements. Guessing that's like poison? And that's chaos maybe? Poison and chaos? But poison is chaos.
Yes.
So I don't know.
By all technicalities, yes. Well, actually, if we go back, it's either scrolling down or scrolling up. It actually explains there's a couple more towers that I didn't realize were in the pool here. I mean, I should probably have this pulled up on my end so I can actually quick reference this. Let's see, but okay, yeah, it's gonna be as we scroll down. You'll see we actually ended up with like a stun tower, some other things. Yeah, here we go. Maybe.
Chilling tower, arc tower, fireball tower.
It's actually in the subtext on the background of it. Let's see, terrain. Okay, I just need to pick up.
Maybe it's on.
Momento. Uno momento.
It does look neat though, not gonna lie.
It looks real fun. I think it's gonna be super exciting. Okay, so let's scroll down here.
Oh, here we go. Chill, shock, stun, burn, summon, empower, petrify, and debilitate.
There we go.
Okay.
Which didn't look like the pictures I was looking at. In fact, it might even be more options right there than was available.
It was on the ring tab, and it is literally the first line.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we're helping Sister Cassia, who is a nun. We're helping a
Indeed.
nun fight the plague.
It's our duty, okay? We're doing our good deed.
Talamoana exile.
Talamawana, motherfucker.
Blighted maps. Those actually look pretty cool. Ziggy D was actually talking about it. Like you'll be able to like augment these with the oils that you get. Kind of like instead of putting like the vol fragments or like scarabs, you can put the oils. And it'll actually
Cool.
augment them.
So the question is, does it augment specifically blight, different blight effects and modifiers, or
I'm not sure. Like the blighted maps only contain the fungal monsters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says areas infested with fungal growths, natural inhabitants of this area have been removed.
Oh, so that's probably a pretty epic fight. Let's be real. That's probably gonna be some tough shit.
The whole map with nothing but this.
That's interesting.
Telling you,
Okay.
group play. Calling it now.
Dude. Yeah, that's gonna just be saucy, man.
But
That's gonna be fun.
this right here is what I'm excited for, and I'll tell you why later. But being able to allocate a passive keystone, and
Very
you
cool.
can allocate every single notable in the game, apparently, according to GGG.
What?
Because there's enough combinations with these oils in stacks of 3 to get every single notable passive on the tree.
It's keystones, right?
Yep.
It is keystones, not
Yeah,
minors or subs.
it's the notable passives.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm excited is because I'm eventually gonna make my raider, elemental hit raider, max onslaught like boost, elemental hit melee.
Okay.
And if I can get an amulet with Avatar of Fire on it, boom,
Sure.
100% fire convert.
But you already have that with what's on screen right now. Zoff's blood?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be wearing a Zoff's blood.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, that's
Being able
not
to
a-
just apply that yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to use a Zoff's blood because I want a shaped amulet.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean I see the power play here. That's
Zoff's
all the way
blood's
around
super
is
expensive.
everything.
Like, I want to go budget. Like, the build I want to make, I want to publish that build. Be like, Raider is 100% viable. Play it. Because the
Well, it
Raider,
is,
the Raider gets no love. They're like, oh, if you're gonna play a Raider, just play Frostblades. That's it. I'm like,
Scoff.
no, there's so much more.
I do multiple Raiders every league. There's so many options there.
So
Raiders
fast, so
so good.
fast.
Yes, very fast. In fact, the only close to meta thing I did this league was a Cyclone Raider with Sire of Shards, Doomfletch, or what's the name of the Ami? Gloom.
Gloomfang, the one that chains.
Gloom. Yep. Gloomfang and Magma Orb.
Yep.
So and you're looking at like two. I mean, when it's all said and done, with all the extra chains and whatnot, and the extra damage you can pull back from it with the enchantments, the Uber Lab enchants, you're looking at like 2 screen clear, and that thing just zooms, just chunking balls out. We'll not add any extra analogies, but it was extremely powerful, man, and very fast. And I would even argue to say, and I did the whole thing, by the way. It was just for Glacier T2 farming. Did the whole thing on like a 30C budget, on purpose, just to show a guy that you can create something out of your own damn mind and actually keep up with essentially what meta at the time was. It's just probably a little bit slower than the meta clear for Ice Nova, Ball Ice Nova. It's probably the fastest. But it was a little slower than that, but it was hands down leaps and bounds faster than any other Cyclone clear.
Yeah, so here it says there's going to be 12 different oils in varying rarities. Because I mean, you can see 5 here, and then there's 2 other ones here. So there's 7 that have been previewed. You got like this teal one and this orange one.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what
That's a
the
lot.
most expensive one's going to be.
Yeah, it's a good question. But it's so much, man.
I'm wondering
oils.
if red maps are going to be profitable this league, because T2 Glacier Farm was not fun for me.
I enjoyed it at first, and then it fell flat like immediately.
I had
was
fun
on-
for one day. I made like 8x, and I was like, oh, this is great. Came back for day 2, and I was like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah, I'm done. No, I agree.
And this looks neat.
No, it's definitely going to be viable for late game farming now, because I remember in Mr. Z's video that he put out, he was saying essentially the higher tier you go, the better the rewards will be. So they're directly correlated to pushing in game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think GG was like, this is not what we meant to happen, but you can't take it away from the community in the middle of it, so they let it play out. But I think they were probably disappointed in just that one regard, about how not only one side of the meta ended up becoming for build guide wise, but also it sounds like I heard a bit of regret when they talked about it, but also in the way that the currency moved in this league, being T2 farming, was just probably kind of sad for them, because they probably wanted to see people take this a little deeper. I don't even think a lot of people, I didn't run into many people at all, actually, besides maybe a couple streamers, that even bothered doing like the 5 Legion boss fights. And I think it's just because a lot of people didn't even bother building builds that could handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that, and you need a headhunter doing Cyclone to... Yeah. These anointed unique items look actually pretty cool.
That's gonna be really interesting. I mean, 5 uniques that are essentially a set that will allocate also 5 keystones, notables. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
I mean, look at these boots. 66% increased cooldown recovery for travel skills. Yeah. You'll be moving.
Zooming. And then your base movement is 150.
Yeah.
From base. I mean, that's quick, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
This one. This right here. Being able to stack masters. I'm definitely going to be running temples all day one day.
hands down, the most exciting part of this league for me personally is this right here. Man, I cannot tell you how much I bitch and moan about feeling like I have to do things that take me away from what I want to do. Like, for a game like this that is not technically a sandbox game, but has definite deep feels of sandbox gameness to it, where I can do what I want, I can build how I want, I can, go and play what I want in-game even wise. It's very open now with a lot of options. It just has a feeling of freedom that often gets stifled by like things you need to do, or you're gonna feel like you missed out. Like it feels bad to walk away from Alva, or when she's sitting there with the map. You're running your map, and I'm just trying to knock this shit out to get my completions. But she's sitting there with a map to run, and I look, and it's like, oh man, it has like 90% quant on it, or 123 quant on it. Like 8 modifiers. Like, dude, I gotta run this. Well, if I'm not on a good character to run it, it feels bad. I'm to stop, switch characters, get another character to run it or something. It's like you really always wish that you could do this. Any serious in-game grinder will love this. It's just it opens up a lot of opportunities, and I think this is gonna be great for streamers also.
Yeah, you could just crank out maps and just stack your masters, and then you can do exactly what you want to when like the weekend comes. Like, you can do it pure, like, because personally I love Delve. Reddit hates Delve.
Me too. I love Delve as well.
I love Delve. You were able to push your character to the absolute limits.
What do you think about what they've done right here, making deeper depths easier to access in Delve?
That's fine. It wasn't until like depth 400, 500 before I started seeing boss rooms.
Which they're going to make that more common as well.
Which is good. It only pops up once in like forever. Like, I think I fought one Delve boss last league. Like, so.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Plus, fossils need to be easier to get to. Because, I mean, if you make them impossible to get, how are new players going to really experience fossil crafting? Especially when, like, 9 times out of 10, it's just going to break your item anyways.
Right.
And you're just throwing away currency at that point.
This is true. And that's something that's like big for me. Like anything that makes it more accessible to enjoy a new portion of a game for an earlier player, like, is big for me. I really don't care about us older players. Like, I mean, there's a will, there's a way. Like, trust me. Like, I feel like I've grown up on console, just everything 10 times harder. So I don't listen. And I really just don't have any cares for people who are, you're making it too easy for this or this player to get this. Like, it's gonna mess up my grind. This is how I make my money and yada yada. It's already too simple, dude. You're too late, Buckaroo. The ship's left.
Yeah, like crafting shouldn't be impossible. Meta crafting will always have its place in the game.
Yes.
It just there needs to be a higher tier of items released or new crafting mods released. And meta crafting will always exist. And it will never be easy, because RNG is a bitch.
Yeah, Chris Wilson is a cold bitch, and she likes dinner served likewise. So you're always gonna eat that cold bite every once in a while, man. It's part of the game. It's how currency is deleted from existence in this game.
Yep, I bricked a 150x rapier.
Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, don't annul a rapier to try and get off the multi-crafted mods modifier, because if you do and you accidentally roll off your T1 fizz roll, it's useless. Anyways,
it's not useless. It's just goes.
Oh no, it was useless. Like the damage went so far down on Path of Building. I compared the two, and it was like from here to here. So it was bad.
That's what she said.
So you're funny.
We're aggressively average around here, by the way, guys.
So yeah, aggressively average. T-shirts are coming soon.
Coming soon.
All right, so the summoner is getting a rework, which is cool because I used to play a summoner. Pledge of Hands, 40 skeleton mages, like super fun. But people hate playing summoner builds. They're like, oh, it's boring. This is actually cool.
Why are they boring?
This is cool because you can change the playstyle of your minions now. You can make them aggressive, tanky, or a hybrid of the two. And
Yeah.
there's a new beast, which is the carrion golem, which is huge, by the way. This is the biggest golem I've ever seen.
It is a massive goal.
And I think the next picture, yeah, he's like leaping on this dude because he's
Yeah,
aggressive.
he's like flying through the air.
And
Yeah, well, finally now golems are not the only thing that have manipulation, you know, capabilities.
right here
So,
too, it gets buffed and it buffs your non-golem minions. So always have this thing out. Always. But wait for the patch notes.
yeah, we'll get more in depth here. I mean, this is a lot of this is just literally going over what we have in front of
Yeah,
us.
just some
we can only
speculation.
speculate a little bit, into what's going to be what, but this is definitely going to be one of the fun leagues for people like me who enjoy seeing skills that have rotted in a corner for the last 2 years, 3 years, and then occasionally, just randomly, they just nerf it again for the hell of it. It's just, like kick the dead horse. It's been dead. It's turned into a skeleton. They still just fire around.
I haven't
buff
seen
charges,
anyone
disc charges.
play with skeleton warriors or archers since like 3.0.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man.
It's only
been a
been
long time.
mages. It's only been mages.
But they actually it was like 3 or 4 seasons ago. Was it was Incursion or was it Abyss? They just nerfed Summon Raising Spirit SRS. They just nerfed
Oh
it for no
yeah,
reason.
it was right before Incursion.
Like what? It's like,
Like-
3 of us play with this shit.
Like
and
yeah,
you just nerfed it.
you go
again.
look at the charts on PoE Ninja and it's like, oh, 2% of the population is playing this. Okay.
Nerf that shit.
Nerf it.
Nerf it.
Oh, that meme that I sent you. Is this balancing?
it's the cockroach with the bazooka, okay? But it's fine. This is how they do things around here. Some of us have learned to take our lickings with a smile because it's just how it works.
This right here, I want to try this skill on a
This looks so
raider.
good. This looks so good.
I'm not sure how
This is
good
really
it would be on a raider, but since the assassin's getting a poison rework, like
Yeah, I think you definitely have to wait to lock that one in.
yeah, this is
as
a
your-
I'm gonna wait for thing.
Yeah, this is gonna look good, man. I mean, it just looks so good as already. Read this right here. Withering on a movement skill. This is stupid strong. If this adds,
That's 2 skills in
Yeah.
one.
and
Plu-
it's usually
plus those
it's
boots.
not just a skill. It's like for a 4-link skill minimum.
Yeah,
So-
these withering step plus these boots up here, dude. That could be something.
It's just the question is how many stacks do we get applied?
Yeah,
That's
that's a good question.
Because it doesn't need to be at full stacks to actually feel relevant.
This right here,
You need
Cobra
450.
Lash. It's like spectral throw / frost blades at the same time with poison.
That's fair. Yeah, it looks fun though.
I think it'll be interesting.
Me
Also,
and Jumbly
this
both
is
are, Poison fanboys, so
yeah, this
we're-
is definitely
we're
the
pretty
Diablo 3 the Witch Doctor, 100%.
He's summoning toads. You just can't see him yet.
Copyright incoming from Activision Blizzard.
I mean, if they didn't snipe us when we named our league Immortal after they flopped epically. At their
Oh
own
yeah,
first
that
time,
was
I think we're
100% intentional. I swear, that was
good. Yeah, I'll
100%
never believe any
intentional.
different. I'll never believe any different.
So mines are getting a rework, which is kind of interesting because you don't put them on your feet anymore. You chunk them.
Which begs the question: what is a mine and what is a trap?
Well,
And what is the
So-
difference besides just presetting?
when you throw the
so-
mines, apparently it reserves part of your mana
I did see that.
while they're armed. They will reserve part of your mana.
That's such an interesting take. I don't know how I feel about it. Part of me is like
They chain. They
I think
chain.
It's good. I think it's good. It adds an extra, just a different layer, a different skill mechanic that you have to work with. And anything that brings down possible power creep to me is a good thing. We've just been nonstop going up. We're moving on up to the east side, and eventually, at some point, somebody's going to start the game and is going to beat this whole thing at level like 2, and that's not my envision for this game. This game's fun because it is hard to an extent. Now the game literally becomes trivial when you start learning it, the ins and outs of the game. It becomes a joke. But I want to keep that. I want to keep the difficulty for the new players at least to feel like, whoa, this is kind of daunting. Like this is a lot of information, and it feels so good when you start learning it. You know, it's that reward, that self reward, which is the best kind of reward in the game. Instead of like the guaranteed loot at the end of your, Act 10 Katava kill, you just get guaranteed a 6 link, or something.
Yeah.
I don't find reward in those kind of things. I find reward in the opposite of like, oh, I just figured the skill tree out. Like, oh, this is how this works. This is the difference between resolute technique and actually going crit, and how I can accomplish like different ways to get the same thing. And obviously finding dope loot on the ground feels good. It always feels good hearing that exalt drop.
Oh yeah.
In fact, we had a new player today find his very first exalt. Shout out to Saj out there. Good for you, man. That always feels really, really good. Don't get me wrong. And the loot reward system is good in Path of Exile. It's just, for me, the learning system is a steep hill to climb. But once you get up that hill, you just kind of want to pat yourself on the back a little bit sometimes when you're able to beat, the Act 10 Katava for the first time. When you're able to get into maps, when you're able to touch yellow maps or red maps, all these things are player achievements that do feel really good, and I want to keep that in the game.
Yeah. It's all like this Stormblast mine. It makes the AoE bigger per mine that's detonated, like in order.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be a low level skill, like you'll get it in like Act 1.
Yeah, which makes me interested if it falls off. Do we have like bad scaling?
I don't know. It could be like what was it, Stormbrand when it first came out? Oh my god.
Hopefully not.
Stormbrand was OP. I had an elementalist called Great Value Brand, and I literally ran like a 4-link Stormbrand and killed Uber Elder. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a little too strong.
I've 5-linked Uber Elder with Armageddon one.
Yeah, but, it hits hard.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, it still is really good. People they're like, oh, it got nerfed. Don't play it no more. I mean, you're sleeping on it. It's still strong.
I'm not sure how this is gonna work. The skitter bots, like, okay, it's just gonna rearm traps that exploded.
But that just doesn't make sense. Like, you're already past the pack, dude. Like, the pack's dead.
I mean, it might be good for bosses, but I do like the trap and mine damage boost. That might be what it's for, just the damage boost.
If we can get some good scaling out of it, and maybe it replaces a golem or
also,
something.
Also, whatever this MTX is, I think it's pretty neat. It looks
That's
like
a really old one, actually.
Looks like something out of Borderlands.
Yeah. No, yeah, it does. It's actually one of the old ones, man. It's like from before 3.0, maybe even.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the older packs that I don't actually have. I like going for those dark themes or like the pure light themes.
Yeah, it does look good. I agree. Everything looks better on PC, so like that thing, a lot of that stuff looked like just awful on.
I want these boots, and I don't even care what the stats are. That's an MTX pair of boots right there.
That is.
It's got eyeballs.
Now we're later gators, dude. Just stepping over the bodies, you know what I'm
So
saying?
we got some Legion scarabs, and I'm interested in this dagger because if you look underneath where it says Ezomite dagger, it's not a dagger. It's a rune dagger.
Which is interesting.
What weapon type is that?
What does this even mean?
It does not exist on the PoE wiki.
You're right.
There are no rune daggers. So I'm assuming that it may be counted as a wand.
That's a bold statement, sir.
I'm just thinking that's what it might be. Because a runed weapon is magical. Wands are magical. It's got a physical spell gem modifier.
For spells.
For spells, what spells are you casting out of a dagger other than totems?
Well, actually, you can get some really good damage out of daggers, especially shaper based. There's some really nice
physical.
modifiers.
Physical.
Well, physical as a
Kinetic
spell
Blast
in
is
general.
the only
Pretty
spell I can really think of that it's a pure fizz spell.
Blade Vortex,
Well,
as well as EK.
the only point of going BV is to use triple Herald or double Herald.
No, there's other ways. Gosh, get your head out the meta.
Hey, I'm just
There's-
saying.
But yes, I know what you're saying. That is typical.
Yeah. So it's
Um,
kind of interesting.
No, I think this is gonna be really nice, man. I mean, that has a lot of options there.
Yeah. I wish it
in my
had
opinion.
more modifiers though, like something else. Like, you know,
But +3 levels, that's huge, man.
it
And
is.
it's not allocated to socketed gems. That's the big thing. Is that you could essentially rock 2 of those, have +6, rocking in power, another +3, +9 to a gem. That's like insane.
Hmm.
The amount of scaling is insane.
What's that
I don't
like?
know if there's a cap on that.
A level 30 Blade Vortex?
Holy crap! Well, you can get a 23, level 23 Blade Vortex. So
Oh yeah, you can. So that's what, 32?
32. Yeah,
That's
ridiculous, dude. That would be so insanely powerful.
Yeah,
There
that's
has to be
pretty
some
huge.
kind of scale cap on that. I'm just gonna assume because that just sounds so broke. Putting that
Maybe.
on a 6 link? Are you kidding me?
I'm just wondering what it means by Rune Dagger. Like, what is that?
He's hooked on the Rune Dagger.
And then we got some minion gloves here.
You have to sleuth it out. I don't know.
Some sort of conversion.
Yeah, it pretty much allows you to get anywhere you want to go with your minions. It's like, what do you want to scale? You know,
I'm assuming people are gonna go frost and shatter things with hypothermia.
Sure. I mean, or shock, and then get the insane shock bonus. I mean, nothing makes multiplier shock besides multi crit, which you can do with shock, so it does get absolutely astronomical.
You can wear a yoke of suffering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but your scaling for shock would be like it's pretty low. You just kind of take yoke at its face value and get the extra shock that way. But if you're trying to scale shock, trying to get like 75% increase effective shock or something, you'd probably end up going lightning as
Yeah.
primary, which I've done before, which is just, like I said, astronomical damage.
You probably do that with like specters or something.
You can, yeah. I mean, you can do anything you want, man. You can go full blown mage skellies. You can go zombies because it's percentage physical, so you can scale fizz and then do conversions over to lightning or something, or cold, like you said. I mean, the shatter always feels good, and you can see on that video, man. These minions ain't fucking around. These things are going absolutely ham.
They're aggressively average.
They are very aggressively average.
All right, we got the travel skill one. This one's definitely going to be for the assassin.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This doesn't ring any bells for me.
Maximum frenzy charge is equal to maximum power charge. You no longer have to go to the bottom of the skill tree to get that one node on the new frenzy and endurance charges to get that.
Went down in Slayer. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the it's the ascendancy for, what is it, Slayer? I think it's Slayer that has it.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you gain frenzy charges, you gain or endurance charges, you gain maximum frenzy. Like that. And then we got, I like this div card.
Faded Unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real cool. That's real cool.
And then for some
But
reason
I
a
don't know how I
minion
feel.
helmet.
Let's read the text here. Let's go through this text real quick. Because I'm a little torn on it. I don't know how I feel about it. Having 18 new divination cards, like how many do we have in play right now?
I don't know. Google it real quick.
Let's find out real quick. Give me just a second.
Or if you've got your path open, you can just open the tab, right?
I mean, I'd have to count them.
Oh, it doesn't say at the bottom? I thought it said at the bottom.
Let me look real quick. Let me find out.
An eye level 100 bone helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't tell us. Let's just say a shit ton. We're
lot.
just getting up there, man. And it's like the more now. I mean, this is obviously League Pacific level 100 Bone Helm. I mean, they're really going for the minions here. I'm glad, man. What do you think? Do you think people will still be quick to pick up minions even with the buff? I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe if Mathel comes out and is like, "Hey guys, I'm playing minions this league."
Okay, this is my opinion on this. Like, I remember creating a Soul Rest build. Okay, and this was right at league start for that league. I think it was 3.4, maybe. Right when the weapon came out, I found it. No, I bought it. I bought it for 1C because nobody knew really what to do with it. Ended up making a phase run build off of it with death boots, bubonic trail boots, which became pretty meta for a while. For that, after that, people start putting out legit build guides for it. But I remember I never saw anybody use it, and I discovered the Soul Rest, and I realized after walking through the game content and beating the game at level 47, and then walking directly into a T12 map and absolutely taking a dump on it, that it was one of the fastest and most broken things I've ever played.
Yep.
It was ridiculous. And nobody still really, I mean, it got a little popularity. People were kind of picking it up as like a second and third build for the league. But in general, it just didn't happen. And if that didn't do it, I don't know what does. If you don't have hyper clear speed, I mean, you literally don't stop moving. You don't have to stop. You just run at full blast, full cranked, duration extended phase run, with Quicksilver on top of Onslaught, on top of Blood Rage. I mean, you're just balling as fast as however you want to make it. Fastest thing you can make. And these things just teleport to you nonstop, clearing entire screen and a half every time they land. And if that didn't get people into it, I don't know what does, man. I don't know. I don't know the answer there.
It's not meta. They're not being told it's meta.
Yeah, you might be right there. I mean, that might be the issue, is that they haven't been instructed to do so yet.
Yeah, so we got the supporter packs here. This is the last thing on the page. And this blue one is sick. I like this blue one. That weapon effect is nice.
Yeah, everything about that's dope. I prefer the helmet on the other one, actually, over the blue one.
Maybe slap the helmet onto that one.
Yeah, see, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be trying to mix match here. And that blue one just looks like it's getting more love, though. Maybe just because that's what they're showing us, but it looks like it has extras coming with it. It looks like a pet and also maybe a back attachment.
Yeah, that's got to be a back attachment.
And the little one's maybe the pet. A little eyeball floating around with you or something.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I'm thinking maybe the legs on this one plus the helmet would look good on this blue one. This one has like a really long like front tabard and like a huge belt,
right? And
it would probably look good with that.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like the gloves on the yellow one as well, like the more minimal.
I don't know. I like the plated
one gauntlet, or like one shoulder piece. Yeah, the weebie at heart. Love it.
But yeah, that's
They look really good though. How about these compared to 2 leagues ago with the glimmer shit, with the butterfly wings and the jester top hat? Like, what a joke! I hated that shit.
I'm not gonna knock those wings. Those Transcendence wings are pretty sick.
Okay, yeah. After you've upgraded them and you've gotten the cool shit, yes, but you didn't get that with the supporter packs.
Yeah, no.
You got that through the boxes. So the boxes had some cool shit that I will agree. It had some really cool character effects, really cool skill effects. But the supporter packs were not desirable, in my opinion.
Yep.
This league, they did better. I like these supporter packs better than that league for sure, but they still felt kind of mediocre. I still bought one. I like the fact you got some wings on one of them. I actually got that supporter pack. I like that they gave us some wings, They gave us a legitimate back attachment that you feel like you got something out of it. Yeah. But these look good, man. These are preem.
That what was it? The Sunspire set? That was a really nice one too.
That was a good one too.
Yeah. It came with a hideout. Came with a hideout.
Yep. Yep, it sure did. I don't own any of that anymore because that's all on consoles. FML.
It's okay. You'll get back to where you were.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Don't do it all at once. You
I
have to
can't.
take out a mortgage on your house.
Right. Yeah. I don't need a car.
But yeah, it'll be out September 6th. I'll be on. He'll be on.
Yep.
We'll both be playing.
Indeed. Yeah, you can both catch us, and we'll most likely be playing together.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do some leveling together.
For sure. So, guys, I think that's a good space to end it for the tubes. And make sure you check us both out. We'll have our links in the description. And yeah, catch us on stream. We're live. I'm live almost every single day. I'll let Jumbly plug himself. But
Yeah, so I'm mainly gonna be on YouTube from now on. I'm starting like a legitimate YouTube channel, but you will always find me in this dude's chat on Twitch. Always.
my number one mod. And
I'm
seriously,
always
guys,
posting on Twitter too, so
check his stuff out, man. This guy makes some awesome let's play series. He's doing one right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he said earlier, he started his channel just recently. I mean, just like a week ago. And I'm not trying to blow air up his ass, even though that does sound fun. It's really good. It's really good. It's fun. It's done well. It's done professionally, as you can see. He did all of this today. This is all Jumbly. This is not me. This is all Jumbly. Real cool guy, and definitely just go hit him with a follow. Anybody here also that's live in chat, go hit him with a follow, guys. But check him out. Good content.
But yeah, we plan to do more videos just like this. We're gonna be releasing some build guides. I know this dude's got like an abundance of builds in his dome piece.
Too many.
Yeah, you can think of it. He's probably done it.
This is true, and I'm not trying to brag, but it's just my ADD. You know, it's run wild.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna continue this series. So
Yeah,
no,
this was fun, guys.
just-
I hope y'all
just
enjoyed
let us
it,
know.
and we'll get better in time too. I promise. This is just the start of it. This is our first shot at it, and this is more to come.
Spur
Man, so.
spur of the moment too. We just talked about it yesterday.
This is true.
Oh,
So
here
yeah,
we
I
are.
hope you guys enjoyed it, man, and we appreciate you. You know, anybody and everybody that does stop by and check it out. You know, it's much appreciated. This is somewhat of a passion for both of us. So it feels good if you feel like it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. You know, any criticism is good criticism. Even if you want to troll or flame, go for it, man. Let's see what you got.
Oh yeah.
I'll catch you out there, Exiles. So I'll throw the deuces.
Stay aggressive. Lee average.
Aggressively average.